if you look at Central and Eastern Europe, there's not really a sector. There's a lot of talk about Poland. I think there's a government-sponsored listed entity on the Polish stock exchange that's targeting rented residential right now. There's a lot of talk about Polish players that want to really get this sector going. I'm not that convinced right now, and I think looking at the demographics of Poland, that's one of the most challenging countries you can look at currently in Europe. So you have to be very careful what you do over there. But I can imagine that the sector might work in some of the bigger cities. Looking at Italy, you have a rental sector, but it's Italy to be it on that point. It's quite hard to, from a political institutional side, to enter the market. We're looking at the market for a while, but I think it's not that easy. The big issue in France is regulation. You cannot make a standing investment generate enough returns given the regulatory environment. So you have to be creative, like break-up sales and all the stuff where you can generate a return out of. And that's a story that might work in France, but you don't see buy and hold strategies. As we had some funds in the past that tried to do buy and hold strategies, but they, as far as I know, were not very successful because simply the yield environment is below 4% and it's even getting lower, and that's for mass rental stock. Therefore, France it's a difficult country. We are looking at it. We have presence in Paris, and our guys there always tell me there is product out there, but it's not in the classical buy and hold strategies in resi.
I think, Marcus, Paris is probably very similar to London in the sense that, what Alex was saying earlier on, the store of wealth, it's not income-driven returns in that sense. And I think, looking at Greece, Portugal, Italy, there's a lot of similarities in those countries and how the real estate, and particularly residential, is going to perform. Culturally-wise, there's a lot of similarities. Each have different political issues and whatnot, and I think that's obviously for institutional investors a main concern. At the end of the day, when you decide if you want to diversify yourself into a country or not, I think you do a top-down approach in that sense and make sure that at least the fundamentals from macroeconomic, political, regulatory, whatnot, it's a safe place to invest. And I think capital flows are capital or equity are obviously looking for destinations that are, provide at least that framework where you can invest. And I think not always that easy.